Hi there, welcome to Kneppy Invest and welcome to January 7, 2025. Yes, I do have to remind myself it is 2025, not 2024. It took me 1 year to get used to saying 2024, and now the year has changed just as I got used to it, and now I have to get used to saying 2025. 10 minutes left of trading, actually 20 minutes left of trading today, 10 minutes of normal trading, 10 minutes of closing auction. But before we get into the ASX today, focusing on the best and worst performing sectors, indices, companies, including a pretty good day for one particular company and its shareholders. Share price of this company is up 40%. Also, the stock of the day, and it should be no surprise which company that is. Just a reminder, just a gentle reminder, if you do want to provide me with your top stock picks for 2025, please provide those companies within the comment section of any video. So I'll give you 2 or 3 days, maybe by the end of Friday. Now, this morning I did tally up all your picks just to see which companies were at the top of the list. And I have actually come up with a top 22 companies. And at this point in time, those top 22 companies are all companies that have at least 3 viewers choose them as the top stock picks for 2025. So that was the sort of the cutoff point. 3. A company needed at least 3 people or viewers choosing them to get into the top 22 companies. I was always aiming for between 20 and 25 companies, and at this point in time, I'm at 22. So I'll do a video on your top stock picks sometime, maybe either on the weekend or next week, early next week, and then I'll do my stock picks for 2025. I have to give myself a little bit of time between providing you with your companies and my own companies. And the reason behind that is my stock picks. I'm going to choose those companies, and none of those companies I'll be choosing will be in your list of companies. And also, none of the companies I'm going to be choosing are companies I own. So I need a bit of time just to see which companies you have chosen, and I cannot choose any of those companies, and I cannot choose any companies that I own right now, either for the long term or trading. So I'm going to have to put on my thinking cap, I think, and sort of maybe think outside the box. It's going to be interesting to see what I come up with. I have no idea right now, because many of the companies I wanted to choose, you have chosen, and I know you have chosen because quite a few of you chose these companies. Anyway, I'm rambling on a little bit. So let's get into the ASX today. And overall, I'll probably classify today as satisfactory. Why satisfactory? A pretty good day for small caps and tech. And if I'm going to be honest with myself, I do prefer small caps and tech. So a pretty good day, but resources a pretty negative day, down 0.74%. I'm wondering if that's gold, iron ore, oil, uranium, could be anything, come to think of it. But anyway, a pretty good day for small caps and tech, not a good day for mining companies. So let's have a look at the ASX today, the best performing indices and sectors. I haven't gone through the agenda, but that's okay. The agenda is the same in this video as all other videos, so nothing different, to be honest with you. So pretty good day for IT. We already knew that. Telecommunications up 1.37%. Why is that? Has Telstra had a really good day? I doubt it. Let's have a look at telecommunications. Telstra's up, but REA Group, Car Group, up a fair bit, 2.56% and 3.88%. I'd probably more classify those 2 companies as tech companies, and that's probably why they're rallying, because they're more tech than anything else. And Nine Entertainment Group, up 5.78%. So a pretty good day for telecommunications, pretty good day for healthcare as well, and discretionary. An okay day for real estate, industrials, energy, financials, and a negative day for utilities and materials. And if we have a look at the indices, gold's up. There it is. Gold's up a little bit and resources down. I'm wondering if it's iron ore. And we can verify that by looking at the ASX 20, because we have 3 iron ore companies in the top 20 companies on the ASX. ASX 20, in fact, is down 0.03%. So I'm assuming right now some of the biggest companies in the ASX 20 are down. So again, BHP, Rio Tinto, Fortescue, maybe even CBA is down today. So let's have a look. I am assuming right now, we'll say 13 companies down, 7. No, I'm going to say 10 up, 10 down. Oh, I should have. No, I was actually completely wrong. So 13 companies up, 7 down, just like yesterday. I would say more than likely those companies that are down today are probably bigger, and also their decrease in share price is larger than the rising share price in the best performing companies today. So let's have a look at that. First of all, by market cap. Yes, you can see quite a few of, in fact, if you have a look at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the top 9 companies, most of them are up today, but they're up by a fairly small amount. For instance, ANZ's only up by 0.07, Westpac is 0.15, yet Fortescue is down 4%. That's why the ASX 20 is down, because of Fortescue, and probably BHP down 1.15%, and pretty bad day for Transurban as well, and Rio Tinto, not a surprise there. So you can see some pretty big drops here, particularly Fortescue. And if you look at the best performing companies, we have Aristocrat and REA Group, and they're up a little bit. But keep in mind, Fortescue is, it's a slightly bigger company, but BHP is the biggest company, or the second biggest company on the ASX. CBA is bigger. It's insane that CBA is that much bigger than BHP right now. Insanity, up 40% in a year on no earnings growth. Insanity. Okay, now let's have a look at the top gainers and top losers today. Start off with the top gainers. I'm going to be pretty honest with you. Today was pretty boring when it comes to announcements, apart from a few. Not a lot to choose from. I really had to dig deep into the barrel to find number 5. And I found a profit guidance announcement released yesterday afternoon or evening from a really crappy company, absolutely dog stock. But why not talk about this company? I've talked about this company in the past. So anyway, I'm going off topic. Let's have a look at top gainers. And no surprise, coming in number 2, we have Dimerix up 42.96%. By the way, I have taken a position Dimerix on this particular news. I have released, I have recorded a standalone video on Dimerix, share price 48.5 cents. I would like to see the share price close above 50 cents. That would be pretty bullish, because we have seen a little bit of selling in the last 20 minutes. Not a lot, but just a little bit. So would now doubt there's been a little bit of profit taking. So I'll talk about Dimerix a little bit more later in the video, and then that standalone video went for about 9 minutes because I had a fair bit to talk about. Anyway, Dimerix, pretty good day. There's another company here, well, there should be. Yep, 4D Medical, up 15.8%. They also released something interesting today, and that is another company in my top 5. And another company called Sparc Technologies, up 14%. I'll talk about that company as well. I could talk about Shekel Brainway. They did release some sort of trading update, but I'm pretty sure they want to delist. So because they want to delist, I'm not going to talk about them. I'm not going to talk about you, Shekel Brainway. You're delisting, or you want to anyway. Anyway, what else do we have here? Nothing much. Trig Minerals is a popular pick among viewers of this channel. Not sure why. I don't know anything about Trig Minerals. In fact, if I do have a look at all the popular companies, this is the one I least know about. Know the least about. I said that the wrong way. Yeah, Trig Minerals is a company I know the least about by far. I couldn't even tell you what they do. I would say maybe, no, I'm not going to even try to guess what they do. It says basic materials, but doesn't give us any information. Okay. Top losers, St. George Mining. They actually did release something today. There were so few announcements today that I can remember when a company did release something that I might have missed. St. George Mining announcements. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, they looks like they acquired something, issued securities, restatement to quotation. That's probably why the share price is down. Niobium and rare earths. That's probably why I just moved on. Other than that, most of the companies down are pretty low turnover, apart from rice growers, SGLLV. What's happened there? Share price down 14%. Ex-dividend? Don't know. No, ex-dividend date 24th of December. Any announcements from this company? Nothing. What's happened with Sunrise SGLLV? Why is the share price down 10%? Something must be happening. Oh, there was a bit of selling yesterday and a bit of selling today. That's interesting. So I don't have no idea what's happening there. What else here? Nothing. Singular Health pulling back down over 10%. This could be an interesting one. I've been waiting for the share price to pull back, and I would like it to pull back a little bit more than this. So we did see the share price rally a fair bit, and we're starting to see it pull back, sort of like all the sell right now is pulling back as well. Whether or where we see support, I'm not sure. It could fall all the way back down to 15 cents or even 14 cents. But I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of support at around about 19, 20 cents. Okay, so Singular Health, we started to see a bit of profit taking, share price pulling back. The one thing we want to see with the pullback is lowering volume. I'm looking at Vulcan, really looking at this one as sort of a buy the dip situation. So yeah, a really good dip in the share price, and I really want to see the volume dry up, and I don't want to see the share price drop any further from here, and possibly even the 200 or the 100-day moving average is acting as support for Vulcan. So moving off topic here, but that is one company I am keeping an eye on. Other than that, nothing else in this group of top losers. Now let's have a look at top losers by market cap. Yesterday I saw a lot of interesting companies in the top losers, a lot of tech companies, companies that have done well over the last few months or so. So see if we see them again. I'd say no, and we don't. And there's nothing of note here. I'll be honest with you, there's nothing of note here. Bisley is still down again. It's only down 5.26%. And who cares about that? Champion Iron is also down. So maybe I would say BlueScope Steel would be down as well. So a bit of weakness in steel maybe. No, there you go. BlueScope is up. And by the way, we're in the closing auction. I always like to look at closing auctions sometimes, but a lot of times I'm actually recording the video. And it looks like, yeah, Dimerix might have dropped a little bit. That's okay. That is fine. It's very important that we don't see a lot of selling over the next few days for Dimerix, but a little bit of selling towards the end of closing, that's fine. We don't want to see the share price drop a lot tomorrow, though. I don't think it will, because this announcement is a pretty good announcement. Anyway, let's get to the top 5 stocks of the day. Nothing much to choose from. So I went back to yesterday and I found this crappy company called GLG Corporation. I'm pretty sure I've done a video on this company before. GLG, GLE. I don't know where. Remember I talked about this company. And they're a clothes manufacturing company in Southeast Asia. I'm not going to say anything else. Clothes manufacturing, Southeast Asia. I would say the margins are ridiculously low. Now, this company did release a profit guidance, and actually it was positive. So I looked at it and went, okay, at least it's positive. But when I say positive, look at the numbers. Let's talk about the numbers right now. Wishes to issue a profit guidance on its unaudited results for first half of financial year 25, based on the preliminary closing of the group's unaudited accounts. We anticipate a net profit of between $0.1 million and $0.6 million after tax. So, excuse me. So they are profitable, but, that's, anyway. I'm pretty sure they have been unprofitable the last few years. And they do mention here, the net profit is mainly attributable to improvement of better management of its production capacities and streamline of the production processes. So this is the sort of thing I'm looking for. A company that looks like they've turned a corner, that sort of thing. They're profitable, probably cash flow positive as well. However, what I did next is I just had a look at the buyers and sellers. We have one buyer at 10 cents, one seller at 20 cents. In fact, the next trade will be a decrease in share price. We have one buyer, one seller. How are they going to meet? They're not going to meet at all. So we need some more buyers and sellers to come in. Then I look at the trade history, and this one is a massive turnoff. The last time there was shares traded was on the 27th of December. That was 8 shares. Then it was the last time before that was the 12th of December, 8 shares. And then the previous day there was 2,000 shares. And then the 27th of November, 4 shares. This company is really illiquidly traded, and I have no interest in that. Now, I can be drawn to an illiquidly traded company, but not this illiquid. I need trading most of the days. I don't need a lot of trading, but I need trading most days, and this is just too illiquid. So I have no interest in this company for that very reason. And then I had a look at the chart, and the chart, meh. Now, again, but it's not a surprise because it's liquidly traded, and because it's liquidly traded, you get really crappy looking charts like this. And it's crappy. Really crappy. So that's really digging deep into the barrel. I was swishing around the barrel, coming up with nothing, and then finally I, uh, drew out GLG Corporation. I went, who is this crap? What is this crap? And that's what I think of this company. Clothes manufacturing in Southeast Asia. Now, coming in number 4, at least we have got something happening here. Capricorn Metals. Yesterday, we had a few gold companies release their quarterly results. We had Gold Road, Ramelius, Emerald Resources. We also had Bellevue Gold release production guidance update, which was negative. And today, we have Capricorn Metals releasing their quarterly update or production update. It was, I wouldn't say positive. I would say negative. It's funny, the indicator price is down a fair bit. That won't hold up. You're going to see share price more than likely will close near 654, not 635. Okay, so let's open up this quarterly production update. And to be honest with you, if there were any more interesting announcements, this wouldn't even have been an afterthought. I would have moved on to the next one, but I was looking deep into that barrel. So once I drew out Capricorn Metals, there was nothing left, except for one company, which I will refuse to talk about anymore. And the reason why this would have been an afterthought is because of what they mentioned in the second paragraph. This was neither negative nor positive. So they delivered another strong quarter of operations. Sure, they're probably always going to say that, even if it's weak. These results bring half-year production to 54,000 ounces, placing Capricorn above budget for this point in the year, and is in strong position to achieve the midpoint of financial year 25 guidance. So midpoint, they're talking about, well, we're going to produce exactly what we thought we were going to produce in the midpoint of our expected range, which means neither negative nor positive. If they said we're expecting to achieve production near the top of the range, that would be positive. If it was near the bottom of the range, that would actually be negative. And ASIC is expected to be within the financial year 25 cost guidance range too. So no surprises here for Capricorn Metals. I wouldn't have been surprised to see the share price go up or down because everything is about, do the numbers surprise the market? Are these numbers unexpected? Is it a decrease or better than expected, worse than expected? And any sort of guidance the company does release as well, which I didn't get into when it comes to Capricorn. But anyway, I'll let the market speak for me. Share price up a little bit. And there we go. Indicator price is now rising. It's just manipulation from mostly big institutions trying to get you to sell your shares, to become afraid. You see the indicator price at 635. You go, oh, I've got to sell my shares. I've got to sell my share. Oh, I'm going to rush for the exit. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to force you out of your shares and into their hands. Anyway, so there it is, up 648. So pretty good day for Capricorn, I suppose. It's up 2.67% when the overall gold sector was relatively flat. So let's have a look at the chart for Capricorn. Is this time to get excited about Capricorn Metals? And this company has been, in the past, a bit of a market darling. In fact, the chart looks pretty good now. Share price went sideways for a period of time, and share price has moved back into an uptrend. And this company was a bit of a market darling. Between 2019 and 2022, share price went from 50 cents all the way up to 450. Nice little 9-bagger. So even though I am reluctant about mining companies, you still can get pretty good performance. And Capricorn has been one over time. And the chart looks beautiful. We see a perfect looking chart. Rise, dip, rise, dip, rise, dip, rise, dip. And all the peaks are higher than the previous one. And all the troughs are higher than the previous one. That's the definition of an uptrend. And when you see that change, the uptrend is coming to an end. So if the share price, because the share price is now rising after the latest dip, if the share price can't clear the previous high at $7.10, that would be negative. That would be a sign, or could be a sign, the share price or the uptrend is coming to an end. Anyway, so that's Capricorn Metals. 3, we have a company I don't know much about, Sparc Technologies. I did have a quick look at the announcement. that let the share price rise 17%. And Sparc Technologies is a hydrogen company who have a joint venture with Fortescue in the University of Adelaide. Hopefully that is right. And the Sparc hydrogen proceeds to stage 2 pilot plant. So because there was a dearth of interesting announcements, I actually had a look at this one. And it is actually interesting. I will give you that. It is interesting what they're trying to do. And the very fact that this is a joint venture between, yes, Sparc, Fortescue, and University of Adelaide, just the very fact, Fortescue, University of Adelaide. University of Adelaide. Well, I don't know how well regarded University of Adelaide is, but I would suppose most universities are well regarded. Anyway, so the good thing about this particular announcement is I actually talk about the science behind this. Here it is. This is about the company. Actually, no, you do see here about the science in this bit. So they're developing a next generation green hydrogen technology using a process known as photocatalytic water splitting, PWS. This process requires only sunlight, water, and a photocatalyst to produce green energy without an electrolyzer. So it does sound interesting what they're trying to achieve. So I'm really hoping they are successful. And I would also say more than likely the road to success for this company is a long way, a long road. It's a long way to destination anyway. I would not be, this is still a story stock, but I would not be surprised if we're talking about 5-10 years down the road, they're still undergoing these sort of process, still pre-revenue, that sort of thing. Anyway, so let's have a look at the chart for Sparc Technologies. Interesting technology, and I hope they are successful. Just because I just hope everyone's successful, really. And, well, I don't know when they listed, but I would assume they listed, I don't know, could be 2020. Was a bit of a favoured company on the ASX. Share price went above $2. Has decreased 90% since then. And we have seen the share price run up the last 2 weeks. So I wouldn't necessarily say this is a shift in trend, but it is starting to look a little bit more interesting for Sparc Technologies. I'm wondering if I have this company in any of my watch lists. I don't. Is it time to put it in my one of my watch lists? What should I put it in? I don't really have. I'm going to put it into my Appendix 4C. So I'm pretty sure they would release Appendix 4Cs. And let's verify. Yep, quarterly activities and cash flow report. It's not mentioned it's an Appendix 4C, but that's what it is. Quarterly activities and cash flow report is an Appendix 4B or 4C. 4C. And if you go down to the chart numbers, here it is. Appendix 4C. Here we go. And 0 receipts. So this is a company that is pre-revenue, so it's a story stock. Okay, let's go to number 2 for the medical. 4D Medical have received FDA approval or clearance for IQ UIP. I don't know much about 4D Medical, but whenever I see FDA clearance, I am going to be at least intrigued. Interested, maybe, intrigued, definitely. So I don't know anything about this IQ UIP. It did sound, no, I don't know. I wouldn't say that amazingly interesting. I wonder if they have an about section. Yeah, they do. In fact, this about section, they don't mention this product. Do they? I can't see it here. So all this other stuff they mention here, FDA cleared XV lung ventilation and other software, XV-LVAS. I do know about that, but I don't know anything about this, whatever it's called. IQ UIP is one of 3 products that can trigger the obligation to pay earnout. No, that's not what I wanted to say. Oh, here we go. A complete lung health solution. Where does it fit here? There it is. It's right in there. The pulmonary structure, IPF screening. There we go. So they do have a fair bit of FDA approval here, but I know these two here, XV-LVAS and CT-LVAS. So I'm not sure how, even though this is FDA clearance, I'm just not sure how massively beneficial this is going to be for 4D Medical. in the long run. I just don't know because we just don't have any numbers here. That's what I need. I need numbers. They just talk about the advantages, that sort of thing. So it could be a massive deal. It could be a massive deal. By the way, UIP is usual interstitial pneumonia. Interstitial, I have no idea what that means. By the way, only 140,000 individuals annually in the United States alone. So compare that to Dimerix. So much more people affected by this. But again, we just don't know how much money is in this for 4D Medical. But share price up. And 4DX. Share price had been under a little bit of struggle. You can see this massive rise in share price of this company before. So we do see these periods, short bursts of really intense liking of this game. That's probably a bad way to say it. We do see these short, intense periods where this company is a market darling, and that period dies off fairly quickly. We've seen it once, twice, even here for a very brief period of time in September, we've seen it. But you notice that the highs in each of these short-term bursts, short-term positive sentiment bursts, whatever you want to call it, each high is lower than the previous one. That's a negative sign. And okay chart today, okay one-day candlestick. I do like the solid green, but they did release this announcement during trading and some good volume coming through. But we saw some really good volume coming through on the 27th of September, and the share price pulled back. So at this point in time, I'm not that enamored with this particular chart. But 4D Medical, we'll say they did release a pretty good announcement because it's FDA clearance, and I like that. And finally, on to Dimerix, where finished the closing auction, and the share price of Dimerix has closed at 48 cents. So we didn't see much selling in the closing auction, and I wouldn't be surprised to see the share price go up tomorrow. If the share price finished near the high of the day, which was 51 cents, I probably would be suggesting the share price would go up tomorrow, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of selling tomorrow, because whenever the share price rises 35%, you're going to see a little bit of selling. And the reason I could say that is if you have a look, by the way, I'm not going to talk about the announcement. You can just watch the standalone video. But whenever you see a company release a pretty good announcement, it's really important what happens the next few days. So you can see last time Dimerix, well, not last time, but in October 2023, the share price of Dimerix rose 154% in one day. The share price didn't close near the high on the day. So the high was, what was the high? 17.5 cents. Share price closed at 15.5 cents. So there was a little bit of selling, but the next day share price rose again. But you notice we did see some pullbacks over the following 2 months. So you had plenty of time to get into Dimerix after they released that really positive announcement. And then the share price started to pull higher 2 months later. So sometimes it takes a while for the chart to play out the way you think it will. Sometimes it takes a while. So don't fret if you think you missed the boat. You do have time, or possibly you do have time. But what you don't want to see is the share price just fall away after today. If the share price keeps on dropping and dropping and dropping, that's a sign that the announcement wasn't that powerful. Dimerix, I do have faith the announcement was powerful enough to maintain the share price at these levels for at least a few days, maybe. I don't know. But I hope the share price, I hope this is a breakout, and I hope the share price moves into an uptrend. So it wasn't an uptrend before. It was actually moving into a downtrend. So I'm hoping it starts to rise. A little bit of resistance at these levels because of this little rally back in October. And we have seen the share price at higher prices back in June, July. So there is a little bit of resistance from about 50 cents all the way up to 66 cents. So really the price we want to see is 66 cents broken, which would be a long-term high, if not an all-time high. Okay, let's have a look at some of your comments. I do have a little bit of time. So this video is a little bit short. Dadio Television, nice little deal today for Dimerix in Japan. Yes. Yes, exactly what I've been talking about. Yes, it was. There you go. Rick Thelian says, with a low Australian dollar, 62 cents to US gold is more valuable due to exchange rates. That's true. But do you know which way exchange rates will go from here? I have no idea. Maybe the Australian dollar will rally because America might go into a significant recession. I just don't know. I would never make decisions based off currency movements. That's something I know. That's exactly what I would not do. Make a decision based off currency movements. I don't care. It's sort of like a sort of a positive byproduct right now for gold. The Aussie dollar has dropped. Anyway. Also, Rick Telling says XAO chart was all over the place. High opening, drop through day. That's right. Yesterday was one of those days. In fact, I didn't really have a look at today. How did we go? Look at Tex. Texas rallied all through today. That's pretty powerful stuff. And XGO was sort of going sideways for most of the day. So a really good day for tech. Congratulations, tech companies. Back to the comments. Just James Zane is thinking outside the box. Is this Schrodinger's box? And do you have all these possibilities within the box that could exist at the same time? So possibilities all can exist at the same time, I suppose. That's the point of probability. If a stock goes up, doubles, triples, add more to the position. Say you put in X. If a stock goes up, doubles, triples, add more to the position. Yes. Adding to your winners, yes. It is something that most investors have a really hard time doing. They have a really hard time selling their winners and maintaining a holding on their losers. In fact, a lot of investors have an easy time adding to their losers. Like average down, that is a really popular thing. But adding to your winners is a hard thing to do. I do know quite a few of very successful investors do exactly this. They do add to their winners. So just James saying, you're on the right track here, I think. Say you put in X. Is that Twitter? X? You're going to buy Twitter? Oh, go you. Now say you put in X. Then you add Y. So I'll put numbers here. I think in numbers, even though this is algebra, X plus Y, yeah. But I just like to think about this in numbers, 1,000. Then you add another 1,000. Put your stop loss at 2,000. Low risk approach. So you put in an X. Then you add Y. Okay. Think about that. Say you put in at $1, then you add at $2. You put your stop loss at $3. Oh yeah, I'm lost. There we go. That's happy now. Is OMG. OMG. There was an ice cream time marker. LOL. Thanks again for another video. Yes, ice cream. I'm all about ice cream. I have ice cream every single day. Yes, I do. Even when I lost a lot of weight, I lost a lot of weight. When was that? 2016. Was it 25 kilos? I wanted to run faster. Faster. And I want to do a quick marathon. So the best way to do that is actually lose weight. Yes, the best way to do that is actually lose weight. And I decided to lose weight. I don't find it hard to lose weight at all. It's all about motivation and also willpower, that sort of thing. And I don't find that sort of thing hard. And I ate ice cream during that whole period. That's the one treat I gave myself. And I have a feeling that's why I was successful. I didn't limit myself. I didn't say to myself, no ice cream at all. I gave myself a treat every single day. Small amount of ice cream. And it made it so much easier. And I lost 25 kilos in 3 or 4 months. Or who says, who buys Bellevue Gold's gold? I have no idea. Who does buy? Do you know? Is this a rhetorical question? I just don't know. And Roger, glad you look at Wellnex today. It's been on my radar since they became a stockist in Chemist Warehouse. There you go. And their joint venture with Chemist Warehouse in 2023. I knew nothing about this. It's interesting. This is why I like your comments, because sometimes I can learn a fair bit. With the Chemist Warehouse merger going ahead, there seems to be some interest from holders in investing companies that stock in Chemist Warehouse, retail neurology. Interesting. That is interesting, in fact. And SAF 99681, Cyclopharm was mentioned positively on a Livewire. Share price of Cyclopharm yesterday rallied, was it 20%? In a fairly short period of time. And yeah, there is up 25%, in fact. Pretty good volume coming through. They did receive a price query, and they didn't mention anything in that. And this particular viewer says, who was it? Where is it? South Africa, 99681. I wonder if SAF is South Africa. Probably is not. They mentioned that Cyclopharm was Livewire Markets video. I think that explains big jump today. Surprised they didn't mention this in reply to ASX query. Okay, I exactly know what you're talking about. And I was actually thinking, when I read this yesterday afternoon or evening, I was like, oh, is this why? So Livewire Markets, I do get emails from Livewire Markets every single day. And it was in was it buy, hold, sell? No, I'm trying to remember. Oh, the number one growth stocks to explode in 2025. One of the reasons I like Livewire and these sort of articles, it does give or provide ideas. So for instance, let's just zoom in. So there it is. So you don't have to, there's also a video with this, accompanied video. You don't have to read the video. You can just look at the article. Or they're pretty sure they do podcasts as well. Yeah, I'm absolutely sure they do podcasts because I always delete the podcast because I usually read it or watch a video. But anyway, Cyclopharm was one of those companies. In fact, I actually did read this and it sounded really intriguing. I don't want to say I was sold on Cyclopharm by reading this, but Lucas Good did a really good job on selling Cyclopharm. Really good job. And I was like, oh, does sound interesting. And yeah, it could be this is the reason why the share price rallied. There was people, maybe suckers like me, who read it and went, wow, this is amazing. I'm going to buy. Some of the other companies chosen were Zip, Sartorius. So this is companies throughout the world. And that's another reason why I like it, because Core Scientific. In fact, I read it. I read this part. Jessica Farr Jones. Is that Nick Farr Jones's daughter? I actually did not realize that. It has to be. Nick Farr Jones. Sort of looks like him in a way. I'm assuming it is. I'm assuming this is Nick Farr Jones's daughter. For those who, like in southern states, that's a rugby union player maybe 30 years ago. It's just the last name. He's 62 years old. So I wonder if you click on his, probably got his daughter there, maybe. Let's have a look. Oh, he's got 4 children. That's all it says. Okay, I've gone off on a little bit of tangent. Anyway, I actually did read this Core Scientific NASDAQ Cores. Have a look at the chart, by the way, of this company, Cores. And it was like, oh, it really drew me in. This gave me an idea. Look at the chart. This company listed back in January last year, so less than 1 year ago. Share price went sideways for about 3 months at about $3 to $4. Share price now is 15. Share price has increased 5-fold in 1 year. So yeah, have a look at this article. Have a look at Core Scientific. They're in data centers. They do compare. I've actually heard other people now compare this company to NextDC and Digico Infrastructure Red, and the size difference. This Core Scientific is much bigger, yet they're valued at a much lower rate. So that's why I'm interested. They also talk about this Core Weave. Looks like they are IPOing. That company also sounds interesting. And Life 360, someone chose that company. At least Kennedy. I don't know where these people come from. Schroders. Paragon Care, which I am trading right now, by the way. So I don't mind that. I'm also trading Zip, Life 360. Not trading Boss Energy. I own Technology One. Korea, chart looks okay. Trip.com, I don't know anything about that. I didn't get that far, by the way, my reading. Anyway, so do like Livewire website, and these articles are really helpful. Probably the other thing I should ask, who gets a lot of Motley Fool articles? So I get a lot of these just popping up randomly. Is it, what's a good one? Oh, I'm trying to, yeah. Yeah, 4 ASX 200 shares just upgraded for 2025 by top brokers. I sometimes open these up and go, really? Really? But a lot of these are just based off broker updates and that sort of thing. For instance, there's one the other day I read was, this company's share price could rise 30% in 2025. And I was just thinking at the time, well, it also could fall 30% in 2025. I'm going to see if there's one of those articles here. Yeah, I'm kind of a really big tangent here. Hey, I won't be able to find it now. Of course I won't be able to find it because, that's the way it works. Anyway, I get a lot of these. They must spend a lot of money on marketing, that sort of thing. Have no interest in their services, and a lot of times when I read these articles, I used to get ideas from Motley Fool, but not much anymore. I get a lot of my ideas from Livewire, that sort of thing, and other podcasts and other articles, other websites, that sort of thing. Anyway, that's really all I have for today's video, I think. So thank you, Saf99681. Now I've got more to do here. Dan Bag says, hey, Kneppy, what do you do for a day job? I answer this a lot. And Roger says he's a meteorologist. There you go. I'm a meteorologist. I forecast the weather. At this point in time, I am technically an aviation meteorologist. I forecast for the aviation industry. I forecast airports or the weather conditions expected at airports and other stuff like that. Anyway, so I don't forecast for you. I don't forecast for people. I forecast for plane. Well, sort of do forecast for people, but your Frenchman says Neuren Pharmaceuticals turned bearish if my technical analysis is correct. And Jack says, not looking good, is it? For my part, I'm watching for a close below 12 and then confirmation before exiting. So let's have a look at Neuren Pharmaceuticals. I still have a bit of time on my hands. Oh, yes, I see what you're talking about. Yes, I can see what you're talking about. Yeah, so it was riding just above $12 for a while. And if it breaks below $12, that would be a negative move. And right now we're at $11.91. So potentially negative move for Neuren Pharmaceuticals. Now, I will mention I won't sell my holding in this because I bought a long time ago. I've taken profits. And I suppose this is a free carry for me. Yeah, this is a free carry I'm having right now. No reason to sell. I think the highest price I sold was in the 20s. So there's no reason for me to sell. Who knows? They could release some really good information tomorrow and the share price could rally. So this is one holding I'm not selling. But if I was trading it, I'd be almost putting my finger on the sell trigger. So yeah, I think you're right. Your Frenchman and Jay Lanks, you're both right. PTB Fund says, I wonder if Trudeau resigning will positively impact the US side of things over the next day. I don't know. I don't know that one. I think it's going to have a minimal impact. I don't think it's going to have that big of an impact. I think that might be it. What I should have done is filter by response status. I haven't responded. And that's better. Anyway, that's all I have for today's video. If you have any questions, any thoughts, leave those in the comment section of this video. Otherwise, I'm not a financial advisor and blah, blah, blah. If you do need financial advice, make sure you seek out someone who's qualified and can speak to your own financial needs. That's it for this video. Have a good day. Bye.